Hey guys, hey, how are you? Welcome to DCP Talks. My name is Stephen Candace and I'm an author. And I have a very lot of books out there. I have over 59 books. I'm working on 3 more. And this is crazy. So we do my podcast, DCP Talks, every Friday at 2 p.m. I release it. It was 7 p.m., but I release it now 2 p.m. You know, there's been a lot of changes to DCP Talks. I know, but trust me, this is the way it's going. We're going to talk about books, questions about those books, and then we're going to talk about Writer's Corner, which is the most important, and that is about how to learn how to write. So we got a lot of stuff to cover today. We got 2 books to cover, and then we're going to cover up some questions, and then we're going to get right to Author's Corner and Writer's Corner. All right, here we go now. So any time you need to search out any event of mine or anything, you know what? You can look up my website, www.authorstephencandace.com. And that is easy. So ladies and gentlemen, let's talk and let's get this thing on a roll. Let's enjoy our lives, everything around us. And I think everything falls into place. You know, I wrote 59 books. That is insane. I got 3 more going, 24 Audible books. I got people knocking on my door asking me about if they can do one of my Audible books. True story. This woman keeps asking me because she did 2 already. And, you know, the truth is, Gloria, I will get there. I am just really at the moment trying to get my stuff in a row. There we go. That is so cool. You know, I'll be talking about my podcast. You know a podcast, is one of those things where I'm learning to do it more and more each week as we go. A podcast basically is where a strong cup of coffee is like opinions are stronger. So either way, it can go one way or another. You know, the number 1 podcast rule is always hit record before the best conversation starts. You know how many times, it's kind of funny. I was at a birthday party, and for some reason or other, I'm usually really good at taking pictures. And someone asked me to take pictures. Do you know how many pictures I missed? I sucked. I looked at my son. We laughed like crazy. I said, "Get me out of this, dude. You got to start taking pictures because I suck, And just always remember, a half a podcast is only half a therapy session. So, man, we got to get that stuff on the road, right? We're going to cover 2 books this week, and the 2 books that we are going to cover, they are horror books. And the 2 books we are going to cover this week, we're going to cover Jaws of Death, and then we are going to cover The Amulet. 2 good horror stories. I mean, these stories are captivating right from the shark. Right for a shark. Oh, you gotta love that. That's a shark book, if not, right? Jaws of Death, right from the shark. Now, listen now. It is actually right from the start. Both books. You know, The Amulet is a book about an amulet that has been found in 1803 by a Scots merchant. Well, he decides to give it to a museum stating that it is cursed, right? Well, after the descendants pass away, a Miss Laura O'Hara, she gets the amulet. Now, and then we are going to go from there. There you go. Jaws of Death, the giant tiger shark lurks into the waters of Beamer Falls, and next thing you know, wada bada bang bang, da 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 da, attacks happen. So we're going to get to that later, but why factor? You know what? I like horror once in a while. I'm writing a new book right now, but you're going to hear all about that. It's about horror. But yeah, so to me, it's one of those escapes. Every writer out there and every person out there has a dark side. Whether you want to sit there and act like you do and don't, you do, and that's all there is to it. So everybody has that dark side, and so therefore, that is why horror comes in, or suspense or thrillers, because it depends on your mood of when you're writing that day. Let's be honest, folks. Really, come on now. The why factor of why I do horror is because I write every style of book. It is me. That's it. I love comedies. I love romance. I really do love romance. But I also love the suspense of Make the Call. It's about a hitman. So it's just about someone who gets called to make the hits. There you go. Or how about escape? Someone wakes up, he's in a prison, and he has to get out. And he has to do a couple things before he's able to do so. Help wanted. 3 boys go up to a cottage to work for a farm, to work for a family, and they don't know what the hell they're going to get into. So see, anything can change when it comes to horror, suspense, or thriller. That is why I do it. So therefore, hey, we're going to get right to it. You know, my friend, Mr. Steak Filet, he is a chef in New York City. Yeah, he actually was curious about the book, The Amulet. And he said he wants to read it. He said it looks very intriguing. He read the back of it. And he was like, dude, this book seems familiar. So is it okay if I send you some questions? Go for it. So what better way for someone to know about the amulet, right? Hey, I'm telling you right now, no better way for him to learn it. So the first question is, what origin of the amulet? What is the origin of the amulet? Okay, the origin of the amulet, it starts off in the early 1900s and it keeps going. Okay, so there you go. It starts off and it is, it's a tale where it all starts, and that's how. Who created it and why? Me, because I thought of it, and because, you know what? Something different. I try to always write something different than what I see out there, and that's just what I do. Is the amulet cursed, possessed, or something else? Well, the amulet's cursed, baby. They say there's a curse on it. All I know is everybody that touches the amulet dies a painful and dreary death, which they cause upon themselves. That's all I know, and it's all I can say. It's all I know and all I can say. So that's what I think, and that's what it is. What exactly happens when someone touches it? Baby, within 7 days, they are dead. That's right, dead. You know what? It is what it is. It's the amulet. It's a cursed amulet, okay? So let's make sure we understand that. It's like anything else in this world, man. It's a superstition. Do you believe in superstitions? Ask Stevie Wonder. Superstition is the way. All right, let's get back to this shit. Now, what exactly happens when someone, when they die in 7 days? Does death happen instantly over time? We just covered that. It's going to happen. That's all there is. So within 7 days, they are going to die. What is the warning signs? They have none. There is not one person shows a warning sign until the second it is time for them to murder themselves. You could say commit suicide. You could call it murder. Whatever you feel you want to do it. You just got to read it because that shit don't stop in this book. And there is some crazy twists and turns. We're talking trains. We're talking boats. We're talking, man, it is just, you got to see. Now, is anyone ever survived who touched it? Not to my recollection. Who discovers the amulet first? A Scottish merchant, 1803. But the amulet has been around a very long time. Now, let's see. Is the amulet trying to communicate or influence? No, not at all. The amulet was cursed by a Hungarian woman, and that's basically what's happened to it right there. How does the main character become involved? Well, right from the start, Alan and Henry Vanderbilt, they actually receive a letter about this amulet. And this is where it all starts. Now, how you want to know how they find out and how everything turns out, then you're going to have to, read the book. And I'm going to try to get it to actually Audible real soon. What personal stake does the main character have? Everything, man. Everything. They are digging and trying to find out about this amulet. They even have it in their possession at one time. But, like I said, they have it in their possession. Doesn't mean they touched it, right? What is the scariest death linked to the amulet? Captain was a good one, and so was Miss O'Hara. Yeah, Miss O'Hara. Yeah, that was a good one, too. In the end, is the curse truly gone? Well, they went and they found a woman that said she had an antidote for the curse. Does it continue or is it still waiting? I think it's still there. If you read the ending, it's possible It's possible it's still there. All right, there we go. Now, that's the thing about the amulet. Thank you very much. I hope I answered your questions, Mr. Steak Filet. Now we're going to go to Mr. Jose Cuevo, T. Cuevo. And yeehaw, I like that dude, okay? Now, he's asking me 20 questions. He says, I want to know about Jaws of Death. He goes, I like shark movies. Is it like Jaws? Is it like, what? Man, I still shamelessly. You know what? What movie out there in the world didn't steal from Jaws? Hello, it's a shark movie, the first biggest shark movie ever in our history. And, they made a mechanical shark. Let's get honest with you, man. A 20-footer, 25-footer, man. And what didn't spark every movie after that? 48 meters down, man. You got The Shallows. You got this one. And then you got Jaws of Death, baby. Yeah, it's a giant tiger shark, man. Here we go. Where is this located? Number one question. It is Beamer Falls, baby. Beamer Falls, Rhode Island. Oh, that's the first time I ever mentioned Rhode Island out of 40 books of mine that have Beamer Falls in it. Now, why do people visit the island? Beamer Falls is a small island, but it's a tourist. They have an annual regatta there. And this year, of all the years the shark decides to show up, it is their 32nd annual regatta. Now, when does it first appear? Like I said, it first appeared during the 32nd annual regatta. What makes this shark more dangerous than normal? Well, I think he's just on a feeding frenzy. He's a giant tiger shark. And everybody knows through history, tiger sharks are pretty mean, pretty territorial. Once they get in their domain, they're going to keep that shit and they're just going to do what they got to do. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Now, let's see. Who is the first victims? It is Joe and Sven, a couple of old men. Oh, man. Yeah, he took his wife's roast so he could try to catch, a nice big, shark or something for dinner. Yeah, and instead of them catching the fish it seems like caught them. How do people on the island first react? Well, it's a funny thing like everybody else. Why is always when something happens, it's a secret? Why doesn't nobody go out there, tell the truth, get that shit done? Nope, it's a secret. We can't tell anybody, right? I never understood that. Who is the main character facing the dangers? Well, it is Sheriff Henson, and it is Mike Brolin. Mike Brolin. I'm going to take a drink real quick. DCP talks, baby. All right, the main characters have personal fear of the ocean. Actually, he does. Sheriff Henson does not like the ocean. Mike Brolin, his brother was killed in the ocean, so he really doesn't care for the ocean. What warning signs are ignored early on? Like every movie out there, nobody takes action, and then they wait until it's out of control, and then the town folk are like, why didn't you tell us? Well, duh, it happens in every movie. Why not have it in my book too? Hey, that's the way it works. Why can't people easily leave the island? Because they don't know. There is Brett and Randy Vaughn, who are the mayors of this island, and they are refusing because of the regatta. It brings in 1 million visitors. They are not losing that revenue for their island because that's the only time of year that they get that revenue. Go figure. Isn't that the way it works out? If someone's making money, that is just the way it works. Now, who is the main? I already said that shit. Now, why? Yep, we said that too. Now, woohoo! Who tries to stop the shark and fail? Well, there's Mike, there's Sheriff Henson, and there is also one more character which you need to find out. Oh! What is the scariest attack scene? Oh, man. You have to write it, right? And one of the scariest scenes, I think, that I wrote in this book was a little girl is on the deck. And the deck is like on a chain out in the water. and she's has her feet in, and then oh yeah, so that's about the scariest scene. But then there's also another scene where the shark attacks. Oh yeah, a man swimming, and it's just even the sheriff. When the sheriff has to go in the water because he sees a board and he has to go flip the board. You know the way that shit works. Dun 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 dun. Everybody's like, I'm not picking up that board. As you wade in the water, you're waist deep. Oh, let me tell you, that's how that shit works. By the way, yeah, that's a good one there, that part. Oh my goodness, that is a good part. Let's see. How does fear spread? Because once everybody starts to find out is normal. Nobody says shit until it's too late. Then everybody's running. Everybody's screaming. Everybody's got to do their damn thing. What major mistake makes things worse? They didn't say anything, and then they didn't act. They let the Vaughn brothers tell them what they needed to do. And that's all there is. Well, and then they finally, how does the main character fight back? You're going to have to find that out. All I know is one thing. The shark wins. So, I mean, you got to read it to find out. So, what is the final confrontation like? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a frenzy, all right. Oh, yeah, it's a good one. At the end, is the danger truly gone? Oh, that's a hell no. I'm just going to say it right now because I am one where I like adding on books. So, there you go. Is there going to be another book coming? There just may be. So that's one way to find out. We shall see. And always remember that the inside look into one person's mind of a horror writer is where it becomes a storytelling. Stay tuned for more on my DCP podcast, baby, about horror. Now we're going to get to Author's Corner, baby. This is all about me. Mwah. Yeah, baby. It's all about me, about my new books coming out. So let's get to it. Now, I have a few books I'm actually working on right now. So I have John Tillis. John Tillis is actually going on its final stride. John is making some remarkable damage for his revenge. That's all there is to it. John finally is getting his redemption, as they say. It's coming down really good. So that book is coming along real good. I should be done with John Tillis probably this weekend. I know. Woo-woo. John Tillis is coming out. I'm waiting for the cover, actually. Once the cover comes out, the cover is supposed to get to me tomorrow. And once I approve it and get it out, and then, it's coming out, guys. All right, John Tillis, baby. Then we have A Quarter Mile. 1,320 feet to survival. Man, that book too is rolling. I am 3/4 into that book. That book is rolling really good, man. It's actually doing well. There's a lot of people running for their lives, basically, and trying to get to safety. So to me, the fear of not knowing and the fear of the dark will put fear into anybody. The church said it best. The greatest weapon in the church's arsenal is fear. And that's why they invented hell. Oh, it's true though, right? So here we go now. So Quarter Mile, it's going to come out by the end of the month, probably by Easter weekend. How's that? All right, that's 2 books, baby, coming. I know. Then I'm starting a new book. And this one's called A Bachelor Party Masquerade. It's a hilarious comedy. And it's about a man, Steve, who's going on his 5th marriage. Everybody in his family and everybody flies down to Key West, Florida, for the wedding in 6 days. But Steve, Mike, Bill, Sven, Chris decide that they want to fly down to New Orleans first because it's we're getting married. They're getting married on Valentine's, so they're going to hit Mardi Gras. So they're going to hit Mardi Gras, then they're Mardi Gras. That's about what it's goddamn like. I've been there, man. It's a Mardi Gras. It sure ain't no Mardi Gras, man. It's a Mardi Gras, all right. There's 1 million fucking people in 1 million street, in one street. And it's a crawl by the time you get done drinking, let me tell you. But yeah, so Mardi Gras. So then they're going to fly from Mardi Gras down to meet the family when trouble begins. That's all I know. It's going to be a dilly. Oh, there's going to be some good scenes. Oh, there's going to be some moonshiners. There's going to be some airboats. There's going to be some gators. There's going to be some all kinds of events that they got to go through to get to Key West so he can get married. How about that? There we go. Now that is the Bachelor Party Masquerade. And then, as you all know, I'm still in the back burner is the tale of Astrid in Borg, A Viking's Tale, Book 2. So the Armada, it's coming, baby. So, that's the new jive. It's coming. We're going to knock that shit out. It's coming really good. Now we're going to get to Writer's Corner. In the last 2 weeks, we started a segment. One was how to start a book. We're going to recap it real fast because there's no sense to moving on in case someone started today. So we're going to go through bullet points. That's it. So write it down if you have to. Okay, so how to start a book. Number 1, know your core idea. What is this book about? Number 2, define the main focus. Is it fiction or nonfiction? Number 3, plan your opening, the first 3 pages. Make sure they draw people in. The basic story structure is beginning 25%. The middle is 50%. The ending is 25%. You can do it how you like, but that is the majority of how shit runs, and that's how you do it. Now, what we did was after that, so there you go. You have your 4 main components. Then we went to how to build a character. So when we turned around and to build a character, first of all, you're going to need the basic information. You're going to need a name. You're going to need their age, a gender. You're going to need an occupation. And then you can go from there, okay? Then don't forget, you're going to have to put down their physical appearance, their personality. I like to give 3 positives, 3 negatives. Don't forget their background, and don't forget goals and motivation. If you're going to have anything, what's the main goal in their story? Okay, don't forget relationships. And don't forget skills and abilities that they must have, okay? Or maybe they're just there holding a frickin' door open. Just make sure that's how you do it. Now, the character arc is growth. How do they fit in the story? How do they start the story, okay? The favorites and preferences, okay? So don't forget favorite foods. Now, the body languages and habits, okay? So when we're talking about the body language and habits, and then the great characters should have goals, a flaw, and then transformation of during the story. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to revamp and re-go over that one again. Because when you're building a character, I went kind of fast, but it's going to mean really a powerful thing when you do it. So a full character outline template. This is what it should be. It should be the basic information, the full name, a nickname, if anything. They should have their age, their gender, and their occupation or role. And don't forget, they do need a race, even though sometimes we just throw in a person. I get it. But at this day and age, we have to know where they're going, who they are, what they look like, right? And then their current location. That's always a biggie. Now, don't forget when it comes to physical appearance, their personalities. Like I said, I like 3 negatives. I like 3 positives. You don't forget their background. What if they have a past? Now, their goals or motivation and their main goal in the story. We cannot forget that. Now, relationships, skills and abilities. Do they have special skills? Do they know how to use a gun? Do they know how to use a knife? Are they a murderer? Are they a lover? Do they have a tool? Cheers, got that one. But favorite foods to all kinds of stuff. What's their favorite color? Sometimes it comes down to. And don't forget body language habits. Do they have body language habits? Now, there's your characters, guys, okay? Now, this week, we are talking about how to start a chapter. All right? So, a strong opening. 5 ways to start any chapter. All right, guys? 5 ways to start any chapter. Here we go. Number 1. I almost said number 5. That's amazing, eh? All right, number 1. You start with action. Okay? I'll give you an example. You can start with the door slammed before he escaped. There you go. He wasn't sure what he was going to do. See what I'm saying? So you got to like kind of throw it in there, okay? Number 2, start with a dialogue. Okay, example. You shouldn't have come here. She whispered to him. So there you go. Do you understand that? You shouldn't have come here, she whispered. I did one to where the guy is sitting in a restaurant and the girl walks up and she says, you know you shouldn't be here. So almost the identical same concept right there. So it shows you I was on the right track. Number 3, start with tension. I love starting with tension. Like, man, and John Tillis, he's standing over a box, his foot on the box, and he's pouring out dirt as it trickles down, hitting the box. Then he pulls out the stick of dynamite out of his back pocket. Woo! Let me tell you, that's a coming, baby. Start with tension. And here's another example. Something is already wrong from the first line. There you go. You know that shit's good. Number 4, start with the thought. Really, they're thinking, are we going to do this? Okay, here you go, example. This was the worst mistake of his life. So see, you can add a third party in and draw them into it because later in the story, what's the story going to be about? And where do they fit in? Once again, your character building. There you go. So now you know why it is important. Now do what I do too. Make sure you write a lot of notes. Whatever you do. Get yourself some cards, index cards, and start making characters. Start making scenes. I always keep notes of my scenes. Always. Because then I know where I'm going, right? You know? So you start with a mystery. Give enough info to make readers curious. I like doing tension scenes where you know it's a murder and then something happens. Like in Cry Baby, okay? Johnny is rocking back and forth. Or the man is rocking back and forth holding a uniform. I think I put clutching a uniform. A uniform. You got to like that shit. I'm off into lazy land. Oh, there we go. It is the man is sitting down, clutching a unicorn, rocking back and forth with the police surrounding him. So to me, it's like, oh man, that dude is nuts, right? And trust me, Johnny's nuts, man. Crazy. Now, okay, so therefore the quick rule. Let me give you a quick rule. Every chapter should start with something happening, a question, or a problem. Got it? Something happening, a question, or a problem. Now, a simple book outline, 3-act structure, okay? Number 1 act is the beginning, the setup. Introduce the main character. Show their normal life. Introduce the problem. And excite, I can't say it. Okay, incident. The big event that starts everything. Man, I'm having a bad time today, but we'll get through it. We're almost there, people. Hang in there, baby. Hang in there. Hang in there. All right. So, example, something goes wrong and they can't go back. So there you go. That's the beginning. All right. Number 2, the middle, conflict. The character tries to fix the problem. Things get harder. New challenges appear. A big mistake or a setback. See, the middle is where you want to twist. Like everything changes. It can go one direction, go south. I love when everything starts to just go in a disarray. I love that shit because that means then I'm in the right way. Okay. Number 3, we got the end, the climax and resolution. So the final, here we go again, man. I can't talk today. Final confrontation, the big moment. All right, let's see what's going to go down. How about character faces biggest fear? I love that one. I like whenever all of a sudden they got to make a harsh decision. I love that in a book. Problem is solved or not. You got to leave cliffhangers sometimes. I have 3 books where I always leave cliffhangers. I know I suck. My sister, she says I suck. You suck. But show how the characters change. So don't forget at the end, you got to show how they change so people understand where you went to and why you're there at the end. How's that? We're getting towards the end, so this is going to be a chapter by chapter outline. So how about if we go back real quick and we're going to go with, the chapter should start with, how about, here we go, something happening or a question or a problem. Now, we're going to 3-structure act. The act 1 is the beginning. You introduce your main character. You show their normal life, introduce the problem. There we go again. Dude, incident. The big event that starts everything. Maybe I better leave that word out and just go with everything. Example, something goes wrong, they can't go back. There you go. That's act 1. Act 2, write it down. The middle, conflict. The character tries to fix the problem. Always someone trying to fix shit. I got friends that always try to fix shit. Things get harder. New challenges appear. A big mistake or setback happens. It's the way you keep a good book going. The middle is a twist. Everything changes. Remember that. Act number 3, baby. Climax resolution. Here we go. Final confrontation. The big moment. The character faces his biggest fear. Always. Problem is solved or not. That's your time to either make it keep going or a new book. Show how the character changes or changed. There you go. Got it? There's your 3 acts. Now we're going to bust this out right here as chapter by chapter outline. I'm going to give you 10 examples. So here we go. Chapter by chapter. Let's do this. Chapter 1, introduce the characters. A hook. There you go. Chapter 2. Boy, I'm having a hard time. Show a normal life. Show who they are, where they're from, show stuff like that. Chapter 3, the problem begins. Chapter 4, the first challenge. See, I always like to put how I do things. It depends on how my mood is. Chapter 5, things get worse. I guess I shouldn't do that to you. I apologize. Chapter 6, the big twist. Chapter 7, the lowest moment. Chapter 8, you fight back. Chapter 9, the final battle. And chapter 10 is the ending and lesson. So let's go over those one more time. A chapter by chapter outline. So if you want to write them down, there you go. Chapter 1 is introduce the characters or a hook. Chapter 2, show a normal life. Chapter 3, problem begins. Chapter 4, first challenge. Chapter 5, things could get worse. Chapter 6, throw a big twist in there. Chapter 7, the lowest moment, make it down. Chapter 8, they fight back. Who loves a warrior? And number 9, the final battle. And don't forget number 10, the ending and the lesson. So there you go. So that is I gave you 10 ideas what you can do. So just remember, here's 3 little tips for you guys, okay? You keep your chapters short and engaging. And what I mean is, from when I read out there and from what I do and from what I see, the chapters can go from 10 to 20 pages is a nice chapter, sometimes 30. Anything over that seems to get drawn in, unless you do segments, sagas. Like my Viking book, I did saga 1, 2, 3, 4. Then those are a lot longer. But otherwise than that, no, your chapters, try to keep them short and engaging. It keeps people motivated better. And then you end your chapters with a mini cliffhanger. Keep your people driving. Keep your people thinking that they want the next chapter. Always keep moving your story forward. You never want to slow down. You never want to stop. You keep moving it forward, okay? Keep that shit moving forward, and therefore it will end up helping you out. I just scratched my nose. I'm so sorry. Now, next week we are going to be working on customizing your chapter and customizing your characters. So there you go. So this week we ended up with doing how to start your book, how to build a character, and then this week it was how to build chapters and make chapters and outlines. So here you go now. So, you got to remember that sometimes people write journals and I record podcasts. There you go. It is just the way it is. I like to talk. I don't have a problem with that. So it's probably why I'm behind a mic and probably why I don't give a good God bless. Behind every podcast episode is at least 3 start overs. That's amazing because this is one of the first podcasts I'm ever doing where I haven't stopped it. This baby is live. It has gone right straight through. I did a good job. Hey, whoop, 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 whoop. This podcast is powered by my ideas, my making coffee, and very questionable research. Let me tell you, it's very questionable, right? So I have a quote of the week for this week, man. And this week's quote of the week is, every episode is another step forward toward your goal. So remember, every episode is another step forward toward your goal. Got it? All right. We got it, baby. Okay, so please know you can provide any view or anything you want, questions. You can send them anything you want or play devil's advocate. I'm okay. You can no holds back. It ain't going to hurt my feelings. They've already been hurt. Oh, so you can send me your questions and feedback to author Stephen Candace at gmail.com. Now, before I forget, I do want to thank Elk Artwork for giving me a little sponsorship here, same as Kiwi Productions. And, I found a little gimme. I forgot real quick. Let me grab it. And here we go. Guys, I found a little book, which was amazing, and it's called Around the World with Milo. And it's by Shaylee Gemmel. Check this book out. It's pretty cool. It's got all kinds of activities and there's crossword puzzles. And it seems like it's done in Mexico, so it does have Spanish in it. Wow, it's pretty cool, man. That's a really cool book. There's an author description on the back. Amazing. Yeah, you got to check that book out, guys. That's right. Around the World with Milo. Awesome. There you guys go. So, if you have a topic to discuss, just ask, okay? We will talk to you soon. Hello. And have a great day and looking forward to our next adventure. And DCP Talks is out.